In part 1 of our 2-part series about the social finance giant, SoFi, we discussed the beginnings of the business up until the scandal that rocked SoFi and Silicon Valley in 2017. The scandal that made front-page news on almost every major newspaper in the world brought the high-flying fintech startup out of Stanford University to a halt. If you haven't seen that first video yet, I suggest you do before continuing with this one. In this final episode of our series, we will explore how Anthony Noto stepped up to revive SoFi and drive it to where it is today, standing alone as the only true one-stop shop online bank. This is the story of the rebirth of SoFi, and you are watching bullacademy.org on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and if you have thoughts on SoFi or want to share your investment position, we would love to hear from you in the comments below. Finally, these videos are brought to you by our patrons at patreon.bullacademy.org. We do this show together and their financial support keeps this channel going. If you'd like to join our live chat community on Discord, you can learn more at patreon.bullacademy.org. Now, let's learn how SoFi survived an epic scandal and became the social finance giant that it is today. When we left off at the end of part 1, Anthony Noto had just resigned from his position as the CEO of Twitter to take over SoFi. SoFi faced serious allegations of sexual assault and other unprofessional behaviors by their former CEO, Mike Cagney. Cagney, one of the founders of SoFi, stepped down after the accusations went public in 2017. A change in leadership was just what the company needed. With Anthony Noto as CEO, SoFi was under new management. If the solution is in the problem, sometimes the blessing is in the curse. SoFi maneuvered its way through the scandal and averted disaster. First, they had to settle with the Federal Trade Commission. While Cagney was still CEO, the FTC accused SoFi of misrepresenting their numbers and making promises they couldn't keep. The FTC also accused them of burying the truth about their claims in the fine print, in fonts so small no one could read them. SoFi told the FTC it would change the claims made about its loans and be more transparent with its disclaimers. Soon, the FTC's position that statements had to be backed by reliable evidence was adhered to, and SoFi proceeded while changing its messaging to consumers. Think of it this way. When Geico tells you that you could save 15% by switching to Geico, the company has to back that claim up with reliable evidence. SoFi, under the leadership of Cagney, wasn't backing up their claims about customers saving money by using SoFi for financial services with reliable evidence. After that was corrected, a rebranding effort was launched and helped SoFi regain the world's confidence under their new management. In 2018, SoFi bought the engineering and product teams from Clara Landing, a mortgage startup, for a complete rebuilding of the mortgage department of SoFi. Their total revenue for the year was $269.4 million, but SoFi was still unprofitable. At that point, SoFi had about 500,000 total members on its platform. With membership growth rebounding from the scandal of 2017, they'd issued $25 billion in loans by May of 2018, and they had raised $2.1 billion in funding for the company that was still getting back on its feet. In January of 2019, SoFi launched 2 products, SoFi Money and SoFi Invest. SoFi Money is the cash management account with a debit card offered through Bancorp Bank. SoFi Invest is a brokerage account that lets you trade stocks, cryptocurrencies, and other financial products such as ETFs, which SoFi also uniquely curates. The biggest deal of 2019 came when SoFi struck an agreement with an NFL team for a new football stadium. The Los Angeles Rams and Chargers now play at the SoFi Stadium. This probably goes without saying, but once you have your own pro sports stadium, it's safe to say you're doing well. We should all aspire to have a sports stadium named after us. SoFi also struck a deal with Qatar Investment Authority for more funding. The fund invested $500 million into SoFi. It had been years since SoFi landed a contract for raising capital, and this move showed the world that SoFi, under new management, was still a serious contender in the rapidly growing financial tech space. $500 million isn't a small investment. SoFi was being taken seriously as a major player again after the scandal 2 years prior. Their revenues had climbed from $269.4 million in 2018 to $442.66 million in 2019. That's 64% year-over-year growth. Pretty good for a company who just survived a major scandal. As TechCrunch reported at that time, the new Qatar-led round is the first big vote of confidence for SoFi's new CEO, Anthony Noto, who joined the company in January of last year after spending 3.5 years at Twitter, first as their CFO and later as the COO, roles he took on after spending several years at Goldman Sachs as a managing director. Noto also participated in the company's newest financing. Still, the round, which pushes SoFi's total funding to $2.3 billion altogether, appears to be a flat one. According to SoFi's release about funding, its pre-money valuation is $4.3 billion, the same valuation it was assigned at the time of that Silver Lake round 2 years ago. By 2020, SoFi offered a wide variety of financial services. Through the company, you could purchase everything from cryptocurrency to insurance. And that's when SoFi changed the game with their acquisition of Galileo. Galileo is practically the AWS of financial tech infrastructure. For what Amazon Web Services is to retail e-commerce and other websites out there, Galileo is to fintech banking. Most online platforms and apps we all use run through AWS's web infrastructure services. AWS is so dominant, even Amazon's competitors, including Netflix, use them to run their own websites. Because AWS is a software as a service offering, its revenues are recurring and its margins are incredibly high. So high that they make up a large portion of Amazon's overall profits despite originating from far smaller revenues. As we explained in our earlier video on why SoFi will be everywhere in the future, much like Amazon, Galileo offers SoFi similar benefits as AWS does for Amazon. Galileo is the infrastructure through which 90% of all neobank accounts were created in 2020. By early 2021, that number had grown to over 95%. Companies like TransferWise, Revolut, Dave, Chime, MoneyLion, and even Robinhood rely on Galileo. This has given SoFi's Galileo an advantage as the primary infrastructure network through which the current digital banking revolution occurs. Considering Galileo has perfected the infrastructure of neobanking, the competition in the fintech industry will have only two choices. They can utilize Galileo's infrastructure and do business with SoFi, which owns Galileo, or they can try to build the same infrastructure that Galileo has already perfected. If they choose to use Galileo, they contribute to SoFi's bottom line. Otherwise, they will slow their own ability to innovate on their product offerings, resulting in inferior experiences for their customers. This is the same dilemma faced by Amazon's competitors across various industries. Use Amazon's web services, including their retail marketplace, or build their own web infrastructure to power their own online shops. In either case, Amazon won. The same story is playing out now with SoFi's acquisition of Galileo, which is already paying off. In 2020, SoFi's revenues grew again by 28% over 2019 to $566 million. Today, customers can use SoFi for a variety of financial solutions, including investments, personal loans, student loan refinancing, home loans, credit cards, private student loans, insurance of all sorts, help with building credit, budgeting, obtaining a credit score, as well as auto loan refinancing, and even get weekly income through SoFi's weekly dividend ETF on SoFi Invest. As a one-stop shop for all your finance needs, SoFi boasts 2 million users, and clearly they seek to become the singular fintech solution for high earners who are not well served by traditional banks and fragmented neobanks. Anthony Noto, who's still the CEO, said, "We're the only one-stop shop to do all your financial service needs at one platform. Many people talk about broadening the suite of products, but only SoFi has done it on one mobile platform. But the news isn't all great for SoFi, and the company still has a long way to go. SoFi is yet to become profitable like many other tech companies at its stage. As an example, for all its years as a staple social media platform, Twitter didn't post its first profitable year until 2018, more than a decade after its founding. Many tech companies face the same issue. They found a solution within a problem, but they must find a way to make it profitable after taking a lot of venture capital. Earlier this year, SoFi issued a statement discussing this lack of profitability. Our net losses were $141.4 million, $239 million, and $252 million for the 9 months ended September 30th, 2020, and the years ended December 31st, 2019 and 2018 respectively. As of September 30th, 2020, we had a total permanent deficit of $380 million. We may continue to incur net losses in the future, and such losses may fluctuate significantly from quarter to quarter. We will need to generate and sustain significant revenues for our business generally, and achieve greater scale and generate greater operating cash flows from our financial services segment in particular in order to achieve, maintain, or increase our level of profitability. The company has shown tremendous growth, but it's also delivered some unflattering losses. With an expected net loss of $165 million for 2021, this has many investors skeptical of whether SoFi will ever reach profitability. Some think SoFi has too much risk because its lending business accounts for 83% of its total revenues. Yet, the stock is still up more than 100% since agreeing to go public via a SPAC merger in the first half of 2021. Beyond that, investors anticipate the value of their shares drastically appreciating following SoFi's highly anticipated bank charter approval, which would make the neobank an actual deposit holding bank and enable them to remove the middle bank partners between them and their loan customers, and in turn offer more affordable products to their customers with higher margins. With all of that said, it's clear that SoFi is the one-stop shop for financial solutions. But how long will that be the case? How long will it be before others emulate what SoFi is doing, bringing more competition? Nonetheless, other investors, like myself, are bullish on SoFi. Between SoFi Stadium, which is set to host the next Olympics, and the NFL Super Bowl, and other major sporting events, becoming a publicly traded company, and the continued rapid revenue growth, some see SoFi as a fintech unicorn. But regardless of the opinions of bears and bulls, if we look at the overall trends, we can see where SoFi is going, and it's most likely up given the continued adoption of online banks and other financial tech offerings on the market. Then, the real question becomes, can SoFi implement a profitable strategy with Galileo's infrastructure that would enable them to leverage those profits to build even better consumer offerings to fend off growing competition? Aside from growing evidence of potentially acquiring a national bank charter later this year or early next year, this is the vision of bullish SoFi investors. You have been watching bullacademy.org on YouTube, where we teach long-term investing by breaking down concepts and sharing the stories of companies to help you build long-lasting, sustainable wealth that will help you retire on your terms. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did and want to see more like it, please remember to like the video below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts on this topic. I would love to hear from you, and I always do my best to respond to every comment. And if you would like to engage with me outside of YouTube, feel free to follow me over on Instagram at Lincoln W. Daniel, where I share random thoughts on life and wealth building that I believe would help others. Finally, as always, this video has been brought to you by our patrons at patreon.bullacademy.org who support this channel financially to help us keep going and help me brainstorm new video ideas to share with all of you. We do all of this in our private Discord channel where we share knowledge and discuss the stock market in real time every day by sharing news, rumors, and new investment ideas so we can all do our own research and then come back together and collaborate. So if you're interested in all of that, I hope you'll join us over at patreon.bullacademy.org. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and have a great day.
Thank you, Jack. At SoFi, our mission is to help our members achieve financial independence to realize their ambitions. That's about more than just saving or investing or budgeting. It's about providing people with the tools to borrow, save, spend, invest, earn, and protect their money all on one mobile app to get their money right. It's about strengthening their personal financial infrastructure to live the life they want for themselves and for their family. Getting your money right requires more than a financial services provider. It requires a partner that is there for every major financial decision in our members' life and all the days in between. A new generation raised online, made resilient by financial crises, but fundamentally optimistic about their futures, deserve a lifelong financial partner that can help them realize their aspirations. That's why at SoFi, our team has worked tirelessly to provide an ecosystem of products, rewards, and membership benefits that work together to help our millions of members get their money right. Building on our digital-first platform, SoFi is the only company providing a comprehensive suite of financial products all in one app. We offer everything from investing in fractional shares, robo-accounts, and cryptocurrency to student loan refinancing, personal loans, mortgages, and a credit card that helps you reduce your debt, and most recently, 2-day early paycheck into your SoFi Money account. We have and we will continue to work to meet the broadest array of our members' needs throughout each financial milestone in their lives. And as we become a publicly traded company, we look forward to leveraging the power of the public markets to fuel accelerated growth on behalf of our members. I want to use this opportunity to thank our incredible team, our shareholders, and the members who show us every day what it means to get your money right. Thanks to each of you, today we take our greatest step yet forward in fulfilling our mission and helping more people achieve financial independence.